Compound inequalities. These are inequalities with or and in the middle. So there's basically only three cases, and we have to look at it both for or and and. And problems are probably a little bit easier because you're literally looking for the intersection of the two graphs. Or is more, so you get both. You get as much as possible. So the first case would be that the graphs face the same direction. So let's start with or, when they face the same direction. Or is more. X is greater than -4 or X is greater than 6. So what's the conclusion there? Well, ultimately the conclusion is that or is more. So X is greater than -4. Because if you think about it, X is greater than 6 is actually inside of X is greater than -4. Or is more, I also get the longer one because it has more numbers in it. And in interval notation, this would be parentheses, -4, comma, infinity. Now on the and side of this, I'm literally looking for where do these two graphs intersect. And they intersect from 6 over. So my final graph on this one would be from 6 over. And you can see or is more because on the or one, I have more solutions than the and one. Interval notation would be parentheses 6, not including 6 because it's open circle to infinity. The second case would be they face opposite directions. So I've already done my rough draft graph again on this one. You can see that they face opposite directions. On or, this is my final graph. And I'm too lazy to rewrite it, deal with it. In interval notation, the smallest it could be is -infinity up to and including 2, so bracket. It hops, so union, parenthesis, 5 to infinity. Now on the and one, I'm looking for where do these intersect? Where do these graphs intersect? So, no. They don't intersect, so the answer to this is no solution. Since there's no solution, there's no interval notation. And the last case would be that they face towards each other. Now, or is more, so I get these two combined. Our powers combined. I get the entire number line on this one. The answer to this is all real numbers. In interval notation, that means from -infinity to infinity. So, parenthesis, -infinity, comma, infinity. On the and one, again, I'm literally looking where do these two graphs intersect. And they intersect on this one in the middle. So I'm going to get a line segment from -3 to 7. In interval notation, the smallest it could be is not including -3 all the way until 7. So then we'll run into compound inequalities like this, where it's a three-headed monster. And these are and problems because it's between two numbers. It's greater than 4 and less than or equal to 12. So you solve it like a three-headed monster. Whatever I do to the middle, I do to both outsides. I'm trying to get X alone in the middle. So the first thing I'll do is add 6 to both sides. Leaves me with -2 in the middle, so I'll divide by -2. Now, I'm dividing by a negative. It's an inequality, so I flip both inequality signs. Now, what does this say? X is between -9 and -5. So, I get a line segment for this one. -5, -9. At -5, I'll have an open circle, a closed circle at -9. So it's a line segment. And interval notation would be including -5, so bracket, comma, -5, parentheses. And that's a quick look at compound inequalities.